She was the face of an era, the woman who turned fragility into allure, and the actress who embodied both desire and tragedy. Marilyn Monroe was not merely a Hollywood star, she became an archetype, a timeless symbol of beauty, longing, and the cost of fame. For millions, she was a dream; for herself, she was a paradox, adored yet lonely, celebrated yet misunderstood. Her platinum curls, that radiant smile, and the famous sway of her walk made her unforgettable. But her legacy did not come from glamour alone. It came from the tension between the image the world demanded and the woman she struggled to remain. To understand Marilyn is to understand the collision of vulnerability and strength, of fantasy and reality. The girl who would be Marilyn. Norma Jean Mortensen entered the world on June 1, 1926, in Los Angeles. Her beginnings were modest, even bleak. Her mother, Gladys, was plagued by severe mental illness and could not care for her daughter. The little girl was passed from one foster family to another, often feeling like a temporary guest in other people's lives. At an age when most children feel safe in their parents' arms, Norma Jean felt like a burden, someone no one truly wanted. That sense of abandonment marked her deeply. It planted within her a hunger for love, for recognition, for belonging. She dreamed of being seen, of becoming someone impossible to ignore. At 16, in desperation to escape yet another foster placement, she married James Doherty. The marriage gave her stability but not fulfillment. Doherty would later describe her as a girl with restless eyes, always searching for something beyond ordinary life. And indeed, she was. The making of a star. During World War II, Norma Jean worked in a munitions factory, dressed in overalls, her hair tied up in a scarf. It was there that a photographer discovered her. His pictures of her youthful, smiling, alive with promise became popular in military magazines. Soon, she was modeling full-time, and Hollywood noticed. The studios transformed her. Her hair was bleached into that unmistakable platinum blonde. Her smile was refined, her posture rehearsed. And her name was reborn, Marilyn Monroe. It was a name meant to shine on billboards, a name that carried glamour in every syllable. Yet with every layer of makeup and every photoshoot, Norma Jean faded into the background. The golden ascent. By the 1950s, Marilyn Monroe was everywhere. Her movies filled theaters, her photographs covered magazines, and her name became synonymous with desire. In Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, she sparkled as Lorelei Lee, reminding the world that diamonds are a girl's best friend. In How to Marry a Millionaire, she embodied Hollywood glamour. And in The 7-Year Itch, the subway great scene with her billowing white dress became a cultural landmark. Crowds adored her, but Hollywood executives exploited her. She was paid less than her male co-stars, constantly forced into the dumb blonde role. Off-screen, Marilyn felt suffocated by the persona that had made her famous. "The public only sees me as Marilyn," she once said. "But when I close my eyes, I'm still Norma Jean." Privately, she surrounded herself with books. She read poetry, philosophy, and Russian literature. She scribbled her own thoughts into journals, words filled with longing, melancholy, and flashes of brilliance. Few knew that behind the dazzling image was a woman with intellectual hunger, aching to be taken seriously. A woman who fought back. In 1954, defying the studio system, she founded Marilyn Monroe Productions, an act of rebellion almost unheard of for women in Hollywood at the time. She studied under Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio in New York, immersing herself in method acting. Strasberg later said she had a rare gift, the ability to bring her own pain to every role. Her performances in Bus Stop and Some Like It Hot silenced many critics. In the latter, she played Sugar Cane with a mix of humor and aching vulnerability. The film went on to be hailed as one of the greatest comedies of all time, and Marilyn's performance was central to its success. Yet even as she claimed artistic respect, her private life was unraveling. Love gained and lost. Her marriage to baseball hero Joe DiMaggio was short-lived but unforgettable. He loved her deeply but could not bear the attention she attracted. The subway scene from The 7-Year Itch, which delighted fans, humiliated him. Their marriage ended after only 9 months, but DiMaggio never stopped loving her. Long after her death, he continued sending roses to her grave, a gesture of loyalty that outlasted fame itself. With playwright Arthur Miller, she sought intellectual partnership. At first, their bond seemed profound, she, the fragile star yearning for understanding. He, the brilliant writer who seemed to see her soul. Yet their marriage, too, crumbled. Miscarriages, her depression, and his emotional distance drove them apart. Marilyn felt betrayed, once again left alone with her longing for love. Shadows and secrets. By the late 1950s, her struggles with mental health worsened. Insomnia, anxiety, and depression followed her everywhere. Pills became her companions, to sleep, to wake, to face the world. Her reliability on film sets deteriorated. She was often late, sometimes missing entirely. But when she appeared before the camera, the transformation was electric. She glowed with a presence no one else could replicate. Her role in The Misfits, 1961, written by Miller, revealed the raw truth of her soul. Her character's loneliness mirrored her own. Watching Marilyn in that film is like watching her heart beautiful, fragile, and breaking. Then came the whispers of affairs with President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert. In May 1962, she appeared at Madison Square Garden, singing her infamous Happy Birthday, Mr. President in a shimmering, flesh-colored gown. The performance was scandalous and unforgettable, cementing her as both a star and a liability. Rumors swirled that she had become entangled in dangerous political secrets. The end of the dream. On August 5, 1962, Marilyn Monroe was found dead in her Los Angeles home. She was just 36 years old. The official cause was acute barbiturate poisoning, labeled a probable suicide. But from the very first day, doubts lingered. Was it an accidental overdose? Or something darker, a silencing of a woman who knew too much? Conspiracy theories have surrounded her death for decades, adding another layer of mystery to her legend. Her funeral was small, intimate, and heartbreaking. Joe DiMaggio took charge, banning Hollywood elites whom he blamed for destroying her. He arranged for roses to be placed at her grave 3 times a week for 20 years. His devotion contrasted sharply with the chaos of her final years. The eternal icon. Marilyn's death did not diminish her, it magnified her. She became a canvas onto which generations projected their desires, fears, and fantasies. Andy Warhol painted her face in neon colors, turning her into pop art. Madonna, Lady Gaga, Kim Kardashian all drew inspiration from her image. Fashion houses resurrect her looks, musicians echo her voice, photographers chase her allure. Yet, beneath all the reinventions, the truth of Marilyn remains: she was more than beauty, more than sex appeal. She was a girl who survived abandonment, who built herself into the most famous woman on earth, who fought for respect in a world that wanted only her body. She was intelligent, sensitive, and brave. Her life is both a warning and an inspiration. A warning of the cost of fame, of how the world consumes its idols. An inspiration in how she fought, however imperfectly, to be more than what others demanded. More than 60 years after her death, Marilyn Monroe is still with us, not just as a star, but as a symbol. She represents the dream and the danger of Hollywood, the glitter and the loneliness of fame. She reminds us that behind every dazzling image lies a human being, fragile and yearning for love. And perhaps that is why she endures, because Marilyn Monroe was not just a star who burned bright and fast. She was every dreamer who ever wanted to be seen, every soul who ever longed to be loved, and every human being who carried both light and shadow inside.